911, what is the location of your emergency?
It's Monday, February 24th. There's a crisis at the home of Sarah Boone, prompting her to call 911.
Is this a police or medical?
My boyfriend is dead.
Okay, send a line for the fire department. Do not hang up.
The fire department takes over the call, and for the next few minutes, officials are obtaining critical details about what happened.
No, tell me exactly what happened there.
My boyfriend and I were playing last night, and I put him in a case and we were playing, and like kind of hide and seek kind of thing. So I fell asleep, and I woke up, and he was dead in the suitcase. So I don't know what happened.
Okay, is he hanging from somewhere or what, ma'am?
No, I pulled him out of the suitcase. I tried giving him CPR.
Fire and rescue instruct Boone on how to give chest compressions.
Just keep on pumping. That's all you need to do for me. Keep on pumping his chest for me. I don't need you to stop and talk or anything. I just want you to count out loud for me, okay?
31, 32. Please hurry.
Okay, man, they're getting there as fast as they can, okay?
He's deaf and he's purple.
EMS arrived within minutes and advised Boone that her boyfriend, Jorge Torres, had been down too long and there was nothing more they could do. Boone explained she and Torres were drinking the night before and thought it would be funny if he got inside of a suitcase for a game of hide and seek. The next day, deputies returned and arrested Boone and charged her with second-degree murder in Torres' death. Boone's story about a childhood game gone awry unraveled when investigators say they found video on her cell phone showing Boone taunting and laughing at Torres while he was struggling to get out of the suitcase. Police say he was yelling he couldn't breathe and asking Boone for help. According to police, Boone was captured on video saying, "That's what I feel like when you cheat on me." When confronted with the video, officers say she told them she didn't remember those moments. But to investigators, those moments add up to motive for second-degree murder.
This case is, have you ever heard of anything like this? I mean, anytime we've covered a case involving a suitcase, it's usually someone's remains, and then they're discarded in a suitcase. It's not the instrument of death or the alleged murder weapon, but that's what they're saying. Let's take a look at that suitcase. We've got video of it tonight. This is from her own cell phone. You see it moving around. You can tell someone is in that suitcase. How do you keep someone locked in there? That's going to be difficult to explain at trial. All right, we're going to play for you the video with the audio. Again, this is the night that she says they were playing hide and seek, and prosecutors are saying she was committing murder. Take a listen.
Sarah.
That's my name. Don't wear it up.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. Seriously.
Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me.
Sarah.
Unbelievable. Let's bring in our think tank. What did we just see? What did we just see, Randy?
What we saw was horrible. I mean, worse than any horror movie you can think of. I mean, what a way to die. You know, is it premeditated murder? I don't know. She had motive, which you don't need. She was angry at him. She had some animus towards him. She wanted him to suffer. That's clear. But could she have fallen asleep and said, "Oh, God, I didn't mean for it to go this far"? Sure. Does that get her off the hook? Probably not. She had intent to cause him harm. That led to his death. Murder, felony murder. She's going to have a conviction.
Renee Hill, Sarah Boone calls you up. I mean, what can you do for this woman? I mean, what is she going to say? I mean, that video is going to be played for the jury.
Yeah, yes, it is going to be played for the jury, and this is a very bizarre case, Vinnie. But here's the thing: there are other quotes things that she said during that video that show you that she might have been lashing out as an abused person. These are the things that you're going to have to look at to try to, you know, bring this down somewhat from what it appears by just looking at this video right now. But she says things to him, you know, and they make you believe that she has been abused by him. She also said something like, you know, this is what happens when you choke me. This is what happens when you do these things to me. And it's like she wants him to suffer, for what he has done to her. And maybe she didn't mean for this to actually happen. You're going to have to play up the angle as to whether or not they were actually intoxicated to the point that she would fall asleep and actually forget that he's inside the suitcase. How did he get into the suitcase? He had to get in there himself. I don't think she could have put him in there and locked it,
Well, you can't. Wait. You can't zip. You can't
No, he
zip
can't
a
zip it,
suitcase
but-
from the inside. So she's got to
Right,
zip
but-
it shut.
Yeah, but he had to get in there for her. So this is definitely something that he did willingly. He had to get in there. Now, the fact that he couldn't zip it himself, of course, we know that. And that she didn't let him out, we know that as well. But there's intoxication here that the defense is going to have to work with. There's the fact that she sounds like she may have been abused by him, and that's what they're going to have to work with as well. But it's still going to be a very difficult case for the defense.
Jamie White, you've been practicing law for a long time. I'm not saying you're old. I'm just saying you're very experienced. Anything even close to this?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'd have to say this is an original fact pattern, Vinnie, but I do want to push back a little bit on Renee's point of view involving intoxication, just in the sense that, most depraved heart murder, second-degree murder, is involving intoxication, whether it's shooting a gun into a crowd or, being a multiple offender associated with drinking and driving and so on and so on. So I don't think that is going to serve her well. If anything, it might go to how reckless of an act this was, right? I mean, you're putting people in suitcases and drinking to the point where you're intoxicated, blacking out, and going to bed for the night. I don't think that is going to be a valid defense. I do think the real question here is going to be whether or not this is early in this case, and I think the question is going to be whether or not there's a basis to form, some form of premeditation. Were there issues in the relationship, as Renee referenced, that, one would think if I can get him in the suitcase, then maybe I can get away with this, or, was their relationship benign to the point where that evidence doesn't exist. However it plays out, Vinnie, these were adults. She's an adult. And, we have to hold folks accountable for their behavior. And this is clearly a situation where someone's life was in danger, and it was in danger as a result of her cooperation or participation. And therefore, there will be some culpability, whether that's a manslaughter or a slap on the wrist or some significant murder conviction. But I think that she's not walking away from this, as Randy indicated.
And Randy, the 911 call, I mean, she's saying this is hide and seek.
Yeah, the 911 call. I think Jamie's right. The question comes down to premeditation. I mean, if she planned this as a murder and she was thinking it through, would she be the one to take the video of the actual crime? I mean, she was taking the video, certainly not thinking it was going to end up in death, and that video was going to be what convicted her, or she's really not smart at all, which I'm not vouching for her for intelligence. But certainly it doesn't seem like premeditation. I'm going to plan. If you're going to plan the way to murder somebody, boy, this does not seem like the kind of way to do it. It seems like a game gone wrong, or an attack gone wrong, or revenge gone wrong. But absolutely, the relationship issues are going to come to play. She definitely had animus. She definitely wanted to hurt him. But I agree with Jamie. Slap on the wrist. It might be a little more than a slap on the wrist, but it's not murder one. This is not premeditation in my book, from what I've seen so far.
All right, Renee, let me throw out a hypothetical. Let's say the jury believes that she wanted to punish him and she lured him into the suitcase. She didn't intend to kill him. She just wanted to teach him a lesson, but she was so drunk she just passed out, and it was too late to let him out. What is that?
That would be manslaughter. She wasn't intending to kill him. She wasn't intending to kill him. She wanted to harm him. She didn't expect him to die. That's a manslaughter.
Do you agree, Jamie?
No, I do not agree. I think that it could be a manslaughter, but it certainly could be a second-degree murder.
I don't think
second-degree murder comes in different forms. That you could have an intent to kill, or your behavior is so reckless, so depraved heart, that a reasonable person would think that it could result in a homicide. And leaving somebody locked in a suitcase all night long and being drunk, I think we don't know what her history is yet. We don't what the history of these parties are. And I am not ruling out a depraved heart conviction in this case. I don't see it yet, but I'm not going to rule it out.
Randy, you know what they do with
Her
this in
actions
Georgia?
are depraved.
Go ahead, Renee. Go ahead, Renee.
I was going to say her actions could be depraved, but again, that's where the intoxication comes in. I know intoxication is not a defense, but you have to look at what her state of mind was at that time and whether or not she was clear enough to determine that, yeah, this really is reckless and I need to let him out before I fall asleep.
Yeah.
This all leads to a plea, right? I mean, the prosecution, if we all can't agree, the prosecution's not certain of anything, but she's got some leeway.
If I'm the prosecutor, I just bring that video and let the jury decide. That's what I do. All right.
That's why you're the prosecutor.
We got a lot more to get to in this program. Coming up, we're going to take you on the docket. We have a story out of Arizona State University. Very popular professor goes missing. Ultimately is found murdered. Now 2 teenagers are the ones charged. We'll break it all down when we come